Hey guys, Ryan here from Mar Health and Performance. In this video, we're going to do a strength workout, full body, kind of beginner. I'm going to give you different modifications and regressions so you can make exercises either easier or harder to fit your fitness level. Okay? We're going to go through, first we'll get through a little bit of a warm-up. Then we'll progress into something a little bit faster. We'll work on some balance and some core. And then we'll go into our strength portion. It should be about 45-minute workout or so, depending if you're doing 2 sets, 3 sets, or even 4 sets. I'm going to show you 2 sets of everything, and I'll let you make the decision of whether you do 3 or 4. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to get down on the mat. We're going to do a dead bug with a heel tap. So I'm going to lay on my mat, feet up, hands to the ceiling. I want to feel my back flatten out to the floor, and I want to feel my tailbone kind of light on the floor. And then I'm just going to tap a heel, bring it back up, tap, and back up. I'm going to do 20 of these, 10 with each. As my leg goes down, my stomach has to work harder to keep my body positioned and grounded on the floor. Okay, so I want you to feel like your stomach's working harder as your leg goes down, making sure your leg's not taking you down with it. Okay, so I stay nice and grounded through the floor. My leg doesn't move me, I'm moving my leg, okay? So you shouldn't feel yourself shift and squirm on the floor as you're doing this. All right, you keep your tailbone nice and light on the floor the whole time. Legs are kind of loose. Then as you can see, my feet stay just a little higher than my knees, and my knees are back just behind my hips. I want to make sure I'm breathing and I'm feeling the middle of my back still on the floor. My back is not arching up off the floor. I'm going to do about 3 more of these. We're going to get about 20 total. And then we're going to switch into a hip bridge. So I'm going to put both feet on the floor about 3 to 5 inches apart. I'm going to bridge up. When I bridge up, I want to push with my butt, push with my hamstrings, keep my feet in the backs of my shoes, and I want to make sure I don't arch my back up. I keep my back down and push with my hips. So I'm in this position here, pulling my feet in the back of my shoes so I can feel my hamstrings. I want to own this position first, and then I can march. I want to make this a little bit harder. I can march my feet by pressing really hard through my left foot and just floating my right foot off the floor. I can put my right foot down, press really hard, float my left foot. And I'm going to go back and forth. Left and right. Left, push, and then right, push. And I want to hold each one for a second or two. I want to stay active pressing through the floor. So when I go to my left leg, I want to make sure I don't sink down when I go and lift my right leg. Same thing when I push with my right, I don't want to sink as I lift my left. I want to stay up and press. We'll do a few more. Same thing, we'll go about 20 of these, about a second hold with each one. We'll come down, I'm going to flip over, and I'm going to do a plank from my knees. I'm going to go elbows and knees, palms down. I want to pull myself between my arms so that I'm not sitting back here with my butt up in the air. I want to pull myself forward, and I'm going to tuck my butt under a little bit, keep my chest up. Stay nice and long through the spine. When I breathe, I want to breathe into my back, and I want to exhale out of the front. Breathe into my back. Exhale, thinking keeping my belly button away from the floor, making sure I'm not sinking into the floor, but I keep the floor away from me and me away from the floor. I'm going to hold this for about 30 seconds. If I want to make this any more challenging, what I can do is I can start to pull my knees and my elbows towards each other. They're not going to move on the mat. It's going to be more of an isometric pull, but I'm going to keep pulling them towards each other, and that's going to create more tension in my abdominals. I'm going to take a couple more breaths. Exhale away from the floor, breathing into the ceiling. And I'm going to relax, come back. If you want to pause this and do another round, be my guest. But we're going to go back onto our feet. we're gonna continue on into the next set of exercises. So I've got 4 exercises for you coming up. We're gonna do a single leg toe touch. So this is kind of a balance exercise and a hip stability exercise. Then we're gonna do a side step to balance, so more balance. After that, we're gonna do another plank variation. And then at the end, we're gonna do a little bit of a rotation through the spine. So we're gonna work on a little bit of spinal mobility to kind of set that off then for that fourth exercise. So let's go to our single leg toe tap. I'm gonna balance on my left foot. For this one, you can use, say, something like a foam roller. You can use a counter or the back of a chair or even the wall for balance if you want. You're gonna come down, touch your toe, and back up. The leg in the air moves back behind you, is relaxed, and back up. So it just moves nice and easy. We're gonna do 10 of these on one side. If you're really struggling with the balance part here, again, use the wall, use a bench, anything that you can just for a little bit of a support. What I want is I want to feel my glute and my hamstring working quite a bit, okay? And I'm going to feel that by sitting my butt back, keeping my chest up a little bit, letting my knee bend a little bit as I go down. So I'm getting a lot of work through the back side of this leg. I'm going to do a couple more on this side and we'll switch sides. And 2. Good. I'm going to go to my right. I'm going to balance on my right. And I'm going to reach with my left hand. My left leg goes back a little bit and up. Make sure you keep your chest and shoulders above your hips. You don't want to reach down like this. We don't want this being more of a back exercise. We want our hips, our leg working the most here. And then you slow and control. Okay, we're working balance, we're working stability. You want to work through those with slow, controlled movements. We'll do 3 more on this side. That's 1, 2, 1 more, and 3. Awesome. So next we're going to go side step to balance. If you have a mat, you're going to be on one end of your mat. You're going to take a big step left and you're going to balance on your left leg. Own your balance, and then you're going to step big right, balance on your right leg. You're going to go back and forth, balancing with each step. Make sure you control yourself before you take the next step. So you can take a quick step over, but take your time to gain your balance. We're going to get 20 of these, 10 in each direction. Whoop. A little over. Good. You can crouch down a little bit. We'll give you a little bit more freedom of movement. Pull yourself on top of that foot and balance. Good. 10 to each direction. Grab yourself and pull yourself on top of that leg. Good. Keep going. Good. We'll go a few more steps here. Back and forth 2 more times. Good. Make sure you finish up your 20 reps. And then we're going to move on to a plank. So if you have a chair, if you have a countertop or a low table, we're going to do the plank from there. If not, you can do this from the floor very easily. So if I'm up on here, I'm just going to grab this. I'm going to keep my chest between my hands, and I'm going to bring my knees underneath me. And I'm going to go nice and slow and steady. It's kind of like a mountain climber, but more for stabilization than for speed. We're going to do 20 of these. You can do these from the floor. From the floor will be just a little bit harder. It's about 10, we're gonna do 10 more, nice and slow. I want you to pause when you get your knee underneath you. Make sure you feel your stomach supporting your back. We'll go 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're gonna go down to the floor. We're gonna go knees and elbows. I'll put my hands next to my head, my ears. I'm gonna make sure my elbows and my knees are only about a foot away from each other. Hands here. I'm gonna press down with my left elbow and I'm gonna rotate myself right. I'm gonna kind of pry myself open. Keep your shoulders off your ears. Make sure you can breathe when you get out there. Bring it back down and you're gonna rotate out to the left. Breathe, and back down. We're gonna do 8 of these. So 4 each side. This is 3. Take your time with these. Keep your neck long, keep your shoulders off your ears. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and done. And then we're gonna just take it back from the top, going back to the single leg toe touch. All right, so we're gonna come up, balance on our left leg, coming down and touch. You wanna make this more challenging, try not to use anything for balance. Another way you can make this more challenging is keeping your foot where it is, the leg that's in the air. Don't let it move back. So you'll touch from here to here. Slow and controlled. Keep the chest up, butt goes back, and your leg that's in the air just kind of floats above the floor and doesn't move. It's gonna be a little bit more challenging that way. Do whichever one you think is best, highest quality and most challenging together. We'll go a couple more. 1 more. Nice. We'll switch legs. Balance on your right foot. I'm going to keep my left foot steady. Otherwise, you can let it move back and forth. 2, 3, 4. Take your time. 5. Work on the stability. 6. Make sure those toes are nice and loose and not crunching up. We've got 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Nice. Then we're going to go side step. Side step to balance. It's 1, 2. Take your time to balance. 3. You want to make it harder. You just got to take a bigger step. 4. Push yourself out there. 5, 6, push. 7, 8, 9. Good. 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3 more. 8, 9, 10. Okay? Then we're doing that plank. So if you got your chair, your bench, your table, whatever it is off the floor, I'm gonna get into a push-up position there. I'll do mine from the floor this time. It's just a little bit harder. Not that much harder. Nice straight line from the heels to your head. Bring a knee under, bring it back. Bring it under, bring it back. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 down. We got 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take your time and breathe. One more. 10. Awesome. Back to the elbows. So on our knees, elbows, and we're rotating. Remember, knees and elbows about a foot away from each other. Don't let them sit out here. Bring them underneath you. Just touching your head. You're not holding onto your head. We're going to rotate out. Try to rotate. Pull that shoulder back a little bit. Pry the elbows away from each other. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Awesome. Okay. So we'll get into the resistance part now. We're going to do a squat. We're going to do a one-arm row, so you'll need your dumbbell, medium to heavy dumbbell, and then we're going to do a little sit back with a hold. We're going to run through this 2 times with me. If you want to do a third set, I suggest just pausing it, doing a third set. If this is your first time running through this workout, stick with 2, and then work your way to 3 sets. Okay, so squats, we can do with or without the weight. So what I want is that chair that you were just using. You're going to use that. You're going to sit and stand. So basically, feet are going to be just outside the hips. Toes are pointed out a little bit. You're going to reach forward with your hands, and you're just going to sit down nice and soft. Push yourself back up. Okay, so we don't plop down, and we're not rocking back and forth. You're just going to sit up. We're going to do 12 of those. Make sure your heels stay on the ground. Okay? So here, 1, 2, 3, reach, let the arms come down on the way up, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, nice and slow down, soft sit, 9, 10, one more, 12. Then we're going to take our dumbbell, we're going to use our chair again. I'm going to get my feet kind of wide. I'm going to sit my butt back, put my hand on that chair, and I'm going to grab my dumbbell here, and I want to pull and down. All right, I'm going to keep my back pretty flat. I don't want to be rounded, but I also don't want to be overarched either. So nice and long, body's pretty parallel to the floor. Make sure your legs are working. So knees are bent a little bit. I got a little bit of weight on my arm. I'm going to pull up, pause, and down. Pull it back, and down. So I want to pause when I get it back, down slow. We're doing 12 of these. Make sure you pull that shoulder back out of the way. Okay, so don't leave your shoulder there and just let your elbow move. 5, 6, make sure your legs are working. 7, 8, 9, we've got 2 more. 12. Good. Put the weight down. Stand up. Shake it out for a second. We're going to go back down. We're going to do the other side. Sit your butt back. Arms out in front of you. Knees are bent slightly. Back's flat. Pull. Make sure that shoulder goes back on the way up. Pause a little bit at the top. Down slow. Make sure those legs are working. Make sure you're breathing. 9, 10, you want to feel your waist working, your abs, supporting your back. And then the third exercise, we're going to sit in your chair, couch, table, whatever it is. I'm just going to sit back. Now, if you have like a back to your chair, this might be a little challenging. You might have to do it on the floor. Unfortunately, on the floor, it's a little harder. So if you can sit on something that doesn't have a back, what we're gonna do is we're gonna reach forward, we're gonna lean back, and you're gonna tuck your butt under. You're gonna go back until you start to feel your abs kick in. I want you nice and tall here. Breathe, and just let your abs work and let your abs support you, okay? Stay here, breathe. We can also reach up a little bit, create a little bit more length in the spine. Make sure we don't go into extending our back, but we're rolling our butts back, and reaching. Good, and then stay out of the neck. Keep those shoulders down. Breathe. Feet are relaxed on the floor. We're doing this for about 30 seconds. Got about 5 more seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay? We're going back to our squats. If you need a break in between exercises, if you need a break in between circuits, take it. You can always pause this and then continue on. If you don't, we're just gonna jump into those squats again. This time I'm gonna hold a weight. So I've got a 20-pound weight here. This would be on the medium side for me. You can do a medium, heavy, however you want, but we want to keep the quality good. So everything stays the same except I'm just holding this weight, elbows under the hands. I'm going to stand up and sit down. Same thing. No rocking back and forth, no plopping. Just sit your butt down and up. Six, down slow and soft. Push through your whole foot. You want to make this even harder. Get a heavier weight. 2 more. Sit on something that's lower. Those are 2 very quick and efficient ways of making things harder. I'd say something lower is going to make it that much harder, okay? So you can always add more weight. I'd squat a little bit deeper first, okay? We're going to go into our 1-arm row. Feet out wide, coming down, and then same thing here. If you want to go a little heavier, you go a little heavier. Keep the reps the same for now, or you can always just pause a little bit longer, come down a little bit slower, and that'll make it more challenging. 2, knees are bent. Use your legs. Make sure you get that shoulder back. I would say show somebody your name tag. I don't have a name tag on, but if I did, use your imagination. Breathe. We get a little push with the arm that's down as I pull. Last 2. 2. Good. Shake it out. Come up just for a second. Let the legs relax a minute. Let your stomach relax a minute. Take a couple breaths and then get ready. We'll go back down. Same thing here. Pull. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give me that pause at the top. 6. Down slow. 8, make sure those legs are working, feet are flat. 3 more, use your abs. Chest up. 1 more, breathe. Good. So we're gonna do our sit back. Again, I wanna make this a little harder. First thing I can do is just lift my feet up. So we're gonna go back for 30 seconds. We're gonna sit back, reach forward. Find your abs. You don't want to feel any stress in your back. If you're feeling any stress in your back, you're going to have to just lighten up a little bit until you can feel like your stomach can support you without too much stress in your back. So I'm rolling my butt back, I'm leaning back, and I'm going to lift my legs up. I'll have to lean back a little further just for that, and I'm going to hold for 30 seconds. And then I can always reach up and get a little bit longer. Makes my stomach work a little bit more. Making sure I'm not reaching with my neck. All right, so I've got space between my shoulders and my ears. Just letting my abs do the work. Breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Nice and easy. We'll go 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Sweet. All right, so like I said, you want to pause it here and go through one more set. Be my guest. Otherwise, we are moving on. We've got 3 more exercises here. We're going to go deadlifts. We're going to do some push-ups. And then we're going to do some leg drops. First, deadlifts. We're going to use that same medium weight for now. I'm just going to hold this one like this. If you have 2 dumbbells that you want to hold, you can hold one next to your knees on the outsides, okay? But for this one, I'm going to show you, feet are going to be just outside of my hips or right under my hips. And I'm just going to hold this dumbbell here. I'm going to push my butt back till the weight almost touches the floor, and then I'm going to push my hips forward, okay? From the side, I'm pushing back and forward. All right, I know when to stop because my hamstrings are starting to get a little tight. And that might happen when you're here. It might not happen until you're way down here. Okay, but that's a good indicator of where you should be stopping. So we're gonna do a set of 12. We're gonna push the butt back, push the hips forward. Butt back, forward. 4, 5, you wanna feel your weight distributed through your whole foot. A little extra in the heels, but your whole foot. 8, 9, 10, 11, one more, and 12. I'm going to put this off to the side. Push-ups. We want quality push-ups. We're just going to do a set of 10. I want you to do them from a height that makes them doable. I'm going to just use the chair for an example, but the higher you get, the easier they are. But the easier they are, the more quality you can really focus on. You can make the form and the technique be the priority, which is what we want here, okay? So I'm going to use this here. And this grip is going to be a little narrow, probably a little more narrow than what I would suggest for you. I would suggest my hand placement being just outside the shoulders, okay? I'm going to be like right under the shoulders with this one, because this is all I have. And I'm going to get into my push-up position, and what I want is as I come down, I want to bring my chest between my hands. Right between my hands, and then push up. Okay, if you have a countertop that you want to make it a little bit easier and a little bit higher and really work on that form, or if you're amazing at push-ups and you want to do them from the floor, you can do them from the floor. But we're going to go down slow and up, nice and controlled for a set of 10. So let's get into our push-up position. We're coming down. 1, 2, 3, control it down, chest first. 4, I say chest first, but don't leave your butt in the air. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more, 10. And then we're going to lay on our backs. We're going to do some leg drops. So we're working on our abs with this last one. So we'll go legs up as straight as possible. Head's going to be down. 2 things. 1, we can hold on here a little bit and assist ourselves so that it's easier to hold our legs up and we're not just struggling to try to keep our legs up. So if you need it, go ahead. And then we're dropping one leg at a time, alternating. And you're going to hold as little as you need to make sure that this leg stays back as this leg drops. All right, so one leg's dropping, the other one's staying back. We've got 20 of these, so 10 each side. Now, if you have a hard time keeping those legs straight, you can keep them bent. You can also do these without holding on if you want to make them harder. But you've got to keep the stationary leg stationary. You can look at it, it can't move this way with the other leg. Okay? That's very important and can be very challenging. We're moving in the legs in two different directions. It's a good quality to have, but not easy. Breathe while you're doing it. Keep your back nice and flat on the floor. Trying to keep your tailbone light. If you're starting to feel it in your back and you can't keep your back flat, I would take my hands and wedge it under my butt. That's going to make it just a little bit more manageable so that you can execute it the way I want. I'd rather you do it the way I want than struggle through it the wrong way. We'll go 3 more. 1, trying to get 20 total. I'll be honest, I have no idea how many I just did, but you're doing 20. And then we're back up and we're gonna go back to the deadlift. Now, if you're struggling with your back position on the deadlift, some people are better at deadlifts, some are better at squats. So sometimes this hip hinge thing just doesn't work very well. And if you're starting to feel that in your back too much, what I would do is get rid of the weight. I would take my hands, I would reach them forward, and then reach my butt back like I was trying to touch the wall behind me until I feel my hamstrings tight. Once they start to feel tight, I gotta stop, okay? So if my hamstrings get tight here, and I keep going, I'm gonna go into my back. So I wanna stop where I feel the hamstrings and stretch them a little bit, and then bring it back in, okay? I'm gonna go with the weight here. You can do it without the weight if you wanna just work on the movement. And we're coming down, and then pushing ourselves up. So I wanna guide myself down, use my legs to push through the floor. 3, down slow. Start to get good at these and you can start to load these quite a bit. You can go pretty heavy with these as long as you're using your legs and in a good position. That's 8, 9, 2 more, 1 more. Okay, off to the side. We're gonna go through our push-ups again. If you're really struggling to get through 10, try to find something a little higher. If you don't have anything to do them on and you have to do them from the floor, you can do them from your knees, but the same thing goes. Same hand position, don't let your butt stick up in the air. Keep it tucked and bring your chest between your hands, okay? We'll go 10 push-ups. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Down slow. 5. Chest between the hands. 6. Don't leave your butt up in the air. 7, 8, 9, 1 more, 10. All right. Everybody loves push-ups, right? It's always everybody's favorite. And then we're on our back. We're gonna finish this last exercise in this circuit. Legs are up. Remember, you can hold on only as much as you need, or you can not hold on. 1, 2, got 10 with each leg. 3, 4, keep the back flat. 5, 6, 7, 8, keep the tailbone light. 10 more to go. Make sure the leg that's not dropping isn't moving. 6 more. 1, keep those abs working, guys. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Awesome. Okay. Same thing goes for this circuit. You can pause it now, go through it again for a third set. I suggest just running through the whole thing once, 2 sets with me, and then if you want to make it more challenging, you can add sets. Like I said, you can make some of those individual exercises more challenging as well. And that's about it. Move a little bit faster, a little bit less rest. You can start to increase your repetitions as you build more strength and get a little bit better condition, and then go up into a higher weights and lower reps. So there's a lot of maneuverability you can do with this, but I say just get through it and then just start to get better each time you come back to this exercise, guys. Great. Ask any questions in the comments, and we're gonna answer you as quick as possible. We love the feedback, we love the interaction, so keep it up, guys. Great job.